Dude, can I tell you how long I've been listening to There it is. What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Who is that band? That was awesome.
Yeah, they're spectacular, aren't they? That is Taproot. You remember them from the?
I remember them. It's been a while.
They had that song about the poem to yourself.
Are those guys doing anything anymore?
Not according to Metal Hammer. Oh goodness, how you doing, Philly?
I am good, man. I am good.
This is so just so you guys know, like this is literally what me and Phil do every night. We just like sit on here and like talk Taproot business and figure everything out, and it's just like that, but just with people watching though now. Whatever, that's all this is. Hi, Jen. It's a local plant. Look at that beauty.
All right.
Take off, you hoser. So how's everybody doing? So anyways, yeah, this is what me and Phil do every night. We just sit on StreamYard and shoot the shit and talk about our intimate personal lives. And just, I don't have a personal life. I don't even have any friends. I just sit at this fucking desk and work all day long.
And we literally decided last night, hey, we should do the pod or
I know.
a live stream.
I'm like, dude, we do this every night. We could actually do this. We could do this live with an audience. All right. So here we are. Oh shit! Look at this. Look who showed up. Boom! It's
Jared. There he is.
Look at that.
What up,
buddy?
How are you?
Now it's a party.
Phil, is that the drum set that I've been hearing about?
It is.
Yeah, Phil's the drummer now, didn't we tell you?
You're me. I'm ready to retire.
Right.
We thought you already did, but then we somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Hey, if it makes you feel better, I retired and these assholes suckered me back in too. So you're not the only one, Jared.
I was trying, man. I was trying. I've told Steve many times to get a bass player while I was gone, but
I know.
Yeah,
there's no other bass players. It's just except for maybe Sean May. He would be awesome.
He may be able to do it.
Yeah, he could probably pull it off. Dude, I miss Sean playing bass. Hey, Sean, play fucking bass again, you asshole.
Quit just making them.
Dude, the basses he makes are so dope, though.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Why don't you have a Sean May bass?
As I told you before, I don't have the patience to wait 9 months, so I've waited 10 years to order one.
Dude,
so one of these days.
Speaking of custom guitars, I'm going to give a plug out to the Southern Sounds guitars because they're making us guitars too. They're making guitars for me and Phil and Steve, and just for fun. They're like, here, we want to build you guitars. Did you see the guitar he's making for me? Did I show it to you?
No. I only saw the one.
He made me the fucking EVH, like the Frankenstrat. Like he literally is building me a Frankenstrat. It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I should be stopping by in the next few weekends when I get some free time to see him. He's going to help set up some of my stuff and talk about some stuff. And
awesome.
Seems like a cool dude. Yeah,
he's a really cool dude, man. I'm excited to see what he builds for us and for everybody. So how have you been doing, Jared? What's up with you? No, since we started this whole new Taproot journey, like I think we'd messaged on Messenger like one time.
I think so.
I talked to these guys like 9 hours a day. Like I talk to Phil more than my fucking kids.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I stay busy with lots of stuff, so it's a trip, man. It's all good. But I just work all day, and then I'm on my local school board, so that takes up a lot of time. I'm really involved with my church, and then I got my. And I didn't do this on purpose, but I do my other band, Westfall. This is like the shirt I was wearing to bed. This could just as easily have been an old Taproot shirt or like a Music as a Weapon shirt. So
that's funny. I did notice that too. I'm like, he's wearing a Westfall shirt. I know that's the first thing I know. Hey, dude, plug it up, man.
Well, it only rotates between 3 shirts, as you just said. So
yeah, that's right.
1 in 3 chance.
I just wear this shirt every day. This is the only shirt I have.
That's sweet. Well, the old Taproot shirts, I think I probably got about 4 or 5 of those that go through the rotation. So
you can order new versions of your old Taproot shirts.
Yeah, that's true.
.com.
Taprootmerch.com, everyone.
Very authentic.
Taprootmerch.com.
Taprootmerch.com. Did we mention taprootmerch.com?
But on good. This is exciting. This is really cool. Hi, Luke. How are you? So how does it? Okay, you're gonna have to give me a little tour here. So how does this? Are we just like chatting here? Are we talking? Or should we be typing anything in the chat? Or how are you guys usually running?
We're just chatting. We're just talking.
All right.
I'll show some comments on the screen, and we can respond to them. And yeah, that's kind of how you converse here, I guess. You the comments. People have questions.
I'm sorry. Can everyone see all of the comments?
Whenever the ones I put on the screen, they can see them so basically all of this shows up on Facebook, YouTube, like the thing over here. I don't know if you guys can see if there's a thing on the right with all the comments.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know. I think only I can see that because I'm running it, but it shows me all the comments over here from Facebook and everything else. And then I can kind of go like this and show them on the screen, and then it shows them to everybody.
I see. Yeah, I can see that.
I can scroll through.
Yeah, I can see the whole row there.
Yeah, if you go through on the right, you look, it just shows you all the comments.
Hey, Audrey's here.
Audrey Ray's there. All your friends who are here. Hi, Morningstar. We were just talking earlier.
Cool. Hi, Audrey.
So yeah, is this your first time on StreamYard, Jared?
It is.
It's a fabulous platform.
That's pretty cool. It seems very simple and intuitive.
It is, and it's funny. It's great. Like again, we do it just for like band chats and meetings, and like it's so much easier. It's all like web based, so it's so much easier than Zoom or anything else. So it's great. I love it, and it's a wonderful streaming platform as well.
So Thom, tell me a little bit about how you said a bunch
how all of this nonsense happened. You can say it.
I would like to. I think your perspective. Your story is probably more interesting than mine. I think mine's pretty intuitive. But how did you get involved? And I would love to hear kind of. And also, I saw you're sitting with Dino from Fear Factory, right? So like. And I know you know Dave Elvson well. So like, how does all that fit together in the Thom world?
Yeah, well, what? I'm not really doing stuff with Ellison anymore. That kind of passed, and the road parted us, and which is fine. He's a cool dude, and we worked together for a long time. Did a lot of shit. Dino from Fear Factory has been my friend for 25 years. So I also kind of the genesis of this whole new Taproot, Phil, Thom, Steve thing. Was I am the VP of Volatile Skateboards now. And, I started bugging, and me and Phil have been friends. We always talk. We chat a messenger. Phil played on some of my songs a couple of years ago, and we kind of worked on writing some stuff together. We've always been friends, So one day, and we do a lot of licensed boards. You can see some of them behind me. We do like Helmet, Dark Throne, White Zombie. We just did Fear Factory decks. We have Stone Temple Pilots. We have all kinds of shit. But we do a lot of licensed band decks, right? So I had a Phil and him like, dude, you want to do some Taproot skateboards? He's like, yeah. So he hit up Steve and really, yeah. So we just did Taproot skateboards. We did Gift, Welcome, and Blue Sky Research. And then from that, we also have Volatile merch, and we do merch stores. I'm like, dude, why don't we do some Taproot merch?
Like, I was like, well, what do I have to do? And Thom
nothing.
Nothing.
Perfect. So, isn't that they always say about how to have a successful business is just add value and make it easy. That's what Thom does.
That's what I do. And then I saw, where is it? This bad boy. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? and
for real,
like Jared did that. It's all these B-sides. And I was just so impressed with this mammoth package. And I saw you put this out, and I'm like, dude, what did you guys do with it? He's like, how'd you distribute it? It's like, nothing. We just sold them on Facebook. Are you fucking kidding? Like, you have all of that amazing stuff, and you didn't really put it in. So I basically begged him and Steve to let me put this out on my label.
Oh, that's cool.
They relented and let me, which I'm sure you've seen. So we're doing it in a little different versions. First, we did the best of asides, which we all just kind of picked some tracks from. And then we're going to release each era in like a 2-disc set over the next like year and a half, basically. So yeah. And then from that, I saw Steve talking about scissors and how he was going to put it out, just release it on Facebook or something. And I'm like, all right, dude, put me on the phone to Steve right now. And we did. We got on here on StreamYard, and we had a call. And I basically said, Steve, let me put this right. And I've been running labels for 20 years and put up probably 500 records, And
really? Dang.
Oh yeah. I've put out. I had Corporate Punishment records and in the 2000s and put out a lot of stuff. I put out like 100 records on that, and we put out like Ivan Moody's band Ghost Machine before he joined Five Finger Death Punch. I mean, and then I had my level THC Music. I put out a record for West Borland when his Black Light Burns records. I put out a bunch of stuff, right? So, and then I had, EMP Label Group and Combat the last 6 years. So, I kind of relaunched THC, and I was like, let me put out this new Taproot record, man. I will do it justice. I will, So we just kind of came to an agreement that, yeah, let's do it. So through skateboards, man, you asked how, let's do some Taproot skateboards.
That's cool.
And then from there, it was like, well, should we do some shows? You're like, I don't know. I guess. And so basically I talked to him like, well, let's just do weekends. Let's just book like 2 shows around the album release, which turned into like 20 shows or,
whatever it is. Yeah.
Exactly. It was all just this really gradual. We all just started doing more and more stuff and getting more and more excited about it. And everybody's energy kind of went up. And then I'm like, so, and it was cool, man. It's just kind of been me and Phil and Steve and you jumping in here and there and Taylor and Alex Gilbert, the agent, just kind of all going, fuck, should we do this? And here we are.
Love it, man.
So it's all because of this and skateboards.
That's cool.
Well, it's also cool. I had read, speaking of like, Thom had legit quit the music industry. There's this art, I don't know if I told you this, Thom, but I read this article that someone interviewed you, this interview by you, and it was just, I mean, it was a really good interview. I got to find it again, but just kind of giving your thoughts on how everything went and why you were just kind of done with everything because you put your heart and soul into this industry, and at the end of the day, at the end of the day, like you've done so much, but at the same time, like here you are, like you're just burnt out and just tired of it, and just people are backstabbers and whatever it was. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but something along those lines, right? You just kind of got tired of it. And then you had quit and we're doing the volatile thing and all that. And when you talked to me, you weren't even planning on doing anything.
Well, it's funny. One day I just kind of, made this post on social media about how I was kind of just done with everything, And again, it's just sort of gets to be an unsustainable model after a while. You work all the time, with people who you don't like or don't necessarily appreciate it. And it just beats you down after 10, 20, 30, and being the manager, you're always the bad guy. You're always the guy everybody blames for everything. Like, oh, you did this, or you did this, or Southern Sounds Guitars. We were just talking about you before. You missed it. We were plugging you. We're plugging the hell out of you. And so it's funny. So I kind of just made this ranting post on Facebook. The next day, Loudwire, all the big music news sites were like, Thom Hazaert quits the fucking music business. I'm like, all right. So I did. I took 2 years off and really did nothing and didn't intend on it. And then I kind of eased my way back in through the skateboard thing, which is music adjacent, but it wasn't music. And again, dude, you don't come across something like Taproot or the ability to put out a record like the first Taproot record in 13. I mean, that's something that you just come back for, man. I don't care how retired you are. You go, holy fuck, yeah, let's do this,
And see, that was Tom's attitude, and I'm like, really? Like you're that excited about us? And I didn't have the hey, it's Alex.
We were just talking about you too.
Thom had more faith in us than we did, to be honest. We're just kind of like, yeah, we're I don't know, we'll see what it's like. And then going back to when we did the album release show and all that, it's like the response from the fans was just so overwhelming. I remember texting with you, Jared, that day when the show sold out in like 30 minutes. Yeah. And we're all just like,
Phil was like, oh, I don't know if it'll sell out. And I'm like, dude, it's going to sell out the first fucking day. And then it sold out. He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, no, trust me. And it sold out in 30 minutes. Then the second show sold out in 30 minutes. Now the third show's almost sold out, and a bunch of the other shows are selling good. So, I mean, the love from the fans, man, that's what it's all about. You guys have such great fans, and they're so supportive and so wonderful. And again, I think that's been a big part of it too, because they hype us up and get us excited when they're excited, and they buy the tickets and get the pre-order and get excited about the record and get excited about VIP. And we love that Jared came back too.
Yeah, thanks, Christian. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Don. Hi, Jen. Hi, Barb.
I know there's so many people. Barbara. I'm trying to get everybody up here to say hi to. Look, there's Barb.
Hi, Ray. Hi, Carly.
So it's late. Yeah, I bet it's late in Poland. What is it, like 6 hours ahead, I think?
Yeah, something. I know there was a bunch of people in England too who are bummed that we did
what's up, Oscar?
Like, sorry, we couldn't do it at 1 p.m. Everybody has jobs, man.
That's right.
So, I mean,
I think the theme here was that somehow this old band like sucked us all back in, even though we all thought that we were kind of done with it.
Absolutely, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly it. It's the same story, just from different sides, you know?
I think I picked up my bass maybe 4 times in the past year before all this.
No, really?
You know, I've been playing mostly guitar and drums. Yeah. So
What mix between guitar and drums?
What's that?
I like between guitar and between drums. How much guitar and how much drums? About a percent basis.
Once I started playing drums took over probably about a good 70%.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So Phil calls me. What was that, like a month ago or 6 weeks ago? Like I thought we were gonna talk about stuff that's going on with Taproot and stuff, and he's like, okay, so I've been playing drums a lot. So how is it? So what's the approach to like the hi-hat? So what do you do like when you what do you do when like you keep the hi-hat tight, and then when you open it up, and then if you're on like a chorus, are you going to the ride or going to the crash? And it was just all about like
you're going to the ride in the chorus.
I don't even think we talked about like shows or anything. So how has that been going, Phil? Do you feel like you're getting more comfortable playing drums?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
I play while driving now. It's very dangerous. It's great.
Yeah, that's right.
We already have 2 drummers, Phil. That's enough.
That's
I'm
right.
working on pairs. It's just for myself, man. For myself.
It's fun. It's fun playing drums is fun though. There's something about it.
It's my favorite instrument right now. I told Jared it's my favorite instrument right now over all the other. And I remember I told you, I'm like, dude, I have so much more respect for you than I already did, right? But just as a drummer, just seeing all the things you have to do, like the little bit, like you make a mistake on drums, dude, it's so much more obvious.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean,
everyone knows you're fucked. Everyone knows. Like you fuck up a little bass note, nobody's like, "Oh my god!"
I don't care. I've done that. I've proven that plenty of times.
Well, I used to get. I remember a specific show. It might have even been in England where
it was. I know. I know. We were such a-holes, dude. We're such a-holes.
Yeah, I missed like one kick or something, and you guys all look back at me, and I was pissed for the rest of the night because I'm like, I know
that's why you
made more mistakes than my one mistake, and you guys all looked at me. I was so pissed.
I remember you reamed us out, dude. You reamed us out, and I mean, rightfully so, dude. We were a-holes that day. That was because we also done it every for the past week, where any little thing you did, we would look back. It's it was kind of it built up. Not that you were making a lot of mistakes, way less than we do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But just because it's more obvious, right? Like we all notice, right? So we're being dicks. I'm sorry.
I forgave you a long time ago. That actually reminds me. So
finally,
so Jackie has a great podcast, the Greener Grass podcast, and she was. You might have to remind me, Jackie, in the chat. You were talking about. Was it
guitars versus drums, right? Like some clever way of saying guitars versus drums.
Yeah, that's right. Beats or riffs, or I can't remember. She'll probably tell us here, but yeah. And so I think Phil and I were talking about how to get that connected, and he was like, "Well, right now my vote would definitely be drums." So I think drums are probably going to win no matter what.
Right, to me, you and Steve, yeah, for sure.
Oh, drum or strum? There you go. She just wrote it. Thank you.
Clever girl.
We don't need our names anymore. Everybody knows who we are. We'll get rid of those. Oh, look, it's Pam. Luke let his wife join us.
Yeah, that's Pam.
So, drummer strum. There you go. Drummer strum. California shows. We're trying. We want to.
You're far away.
I know. Can you guys come closer?
We don't have a vehicle to do these shows yet.
I know. You guys have no idea how many logistics we have to work out in the next, me and Phil were talking last night. Dude, you realize we only have 12 weeks or something, 15 weeks?
14 weeks. 14 weeks, yeah.
Oh, that sounds a lot sooner when you say it that way.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Because Columbus, Ohio. You're playing in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, so can't wait to share the stage. Okay, that's probably someone from one of the other bands.
Cool.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. Or unless he's just planning to just jump on stage.
Right.
What's up, Pat? I just saw Pat was at our Westfall show on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully everybody's got their tickets for all the shows. I mean, I don't need to go over the whole list, but there's a lot of them, man. Make sure there's still a handful of tickets left for can you guys just sell the third fucking Machine Shop show out already, please? 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 Yeah, right. We'll beg.
We're close.
We'll beg. I know. We're super close. So just get that over with. So let's sell it the Winchester. That's close. Let's sell it in New York because it's New York, and we need sell it all of them. How about that? Can you guys do that for us to sell out all the shows?
That would assure we can go everywhere after that.
Right. There you go. Exactly. We sell it everything, then we'll go play in Texas, and we'll go play in California, and we'll go play in. Somebody messaged today asking when you were going to play in Idaho. I'm like, I don't know.
That's top of the list.
Cold had to delay their shows a year because they couldn't get a van. Exactly. Welcome to the world we're in.
I think Phil, I mean, might be speaking for you, but I'm guessing that before we would delay shows, we'd probably just drive 2 vehicles like we did, before we got signed.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be driving you guys in my fucking Kia. Like we're gonna get to the shows regardless.
Well, right. What I'm actually looking at is driving 2 vehicles anyway, and then one of them being like either a Sprinter van or one of those like E350s, whatever, but just pack the back with all the gear.
Instead of worrying about a trailer.
Yeah, instead of worrying about trailer. I don't want to do trailers if I can help.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I've got a couple options. I'm looking at a couple things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan. And that way, because we're all in different places anyway, so it's probably going to be at least 2 vehicles regardless. Like some shows I might have drive by myself, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure it out because I'm in Wisconsin. Phil's in Ohio. You guys are all in fucking Ann Arbor, right?
Oh, I didn't know you were in Wisconsin, Tom.
I'm in Green Bay. So I got to figure out either what the hell I'm going to do, if I'm going to just fly and meet you guys in Michigan and drive back with you, or I don't know. I got to figure it out.
We got your tech, Jared, that you don't know very well, Julius. I think you might have met him a couple of times. He's out in Wisconsin, just about 30 minutes from Thom.
Oh,
so
cool.
Assuming he can make it work with his work, then he'll be able to drive.
He's in Oshkosh, so I'm just going to drive up there, jump in with him, and we'll go.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of these things kind of just fell into place without even having to work too hard to plan. Like just even with Taylor living in Michigan now, that was a great thing.
Very convenient.
That's right, Jonathan. We take up the most room.
Thank you, Taylor, for moving to Michigan.
Oh yeah, thank you, Dave Coughlin, for inviting him.
That's right.
It's a whole family affair. Dave, Sean May introduced us to Dave. He recommended Dave Coughlin in the first place.
The new bass player.
Yes, the new bass player.
Phil's replacement.
My eventual replacement, yes.
That was cool. I listened to Taylor's podcast, his interview. I didn't know that until he told that whole story about that he basically came to Michigan to write with Dave. That was neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole interconnected web thing. That's pretty neat when you look at it.
So it sounds like Luke knows Julius, huh?
Yeah. I guess. I don't remember who all knows who all, but I mean, Julius did the the Winter Riot tour, and I think maybe the Gift tour. It's hard. My memory gets blurred.
Yeah,
but Julius, his cool story was he was like, I mean, you might have met him way back in the day because he'd been seeing our shows since he was 16, 17 years old. And he asked me when he was 17, like, hey, dude, take me on the road with you. Because he'd always be right up front singing the songs. And I was like, wait till you're 21. Because, I mean, the places we're playing all that stuff. And when he turned 21, he still asked. I told him during that time, also learn some stuff, figure out, how to do some of this stuff. So he started working for a company that, did backline and that kind of thing, something like that. So, yeah, when he came out with us, he knew a good amount. He already played bass and some drums, if I remember right.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, just a good dude, man. Just a good dude.
So I got to take
when on that podcast. This made me feel old, like many things do these days. But whenever,
mostly being old makes me feel old.
Yeah, right. That's right. But yeah, they said, oh, were you, how did you become aware of Taproot? And he said, oh yeah, when I was in 3rd grade, one of my friend's moms was a big fan. I was like, oh, jeez.
That's right. I remember him saying that, dude. Hilarious.
Oh God.
Shoot.
Okay, and I got to answer this question. So, the new Besides selection packages. Thank you for pre-ordering. You can still pre-order at taprootmerch.com. I should put that on the screen. Taprootmerch.com. If I would have had more foresight, I would have done that. So the CDs will be out and shipping around May 21st. That's the retail street date, May 21st. The vinyl is still 6 months away, probably on vinyl. I don't know if you guys know that the vinyl takes like 6, 8 months. It takes fucking forever, unfortunately. So I mean, the vinyl probably any packages with vinyl probably won't be shipping forever. We do have an option on the merch store to do. Hopefully, you guys did this. If you to do split ship, where you pay a little more for the shipping, but then they ship out the other stuff first and then just ship the vinyl when it's done. If you didn't do that and you want to, you can probably email Volatile Merch and ask them and pay the. We were just talking about this today because somebody messaged asking about it, and I hit them up to be like, yo, can we do this? So yeah, if you ordered vinyl, unfortunately that shit's not going to ship till like for a long time.
Yeah,
so.
it's handmade vinyl, right? If I remember.
Yeah,
right,
all vinyl just takes forever to print. Like it just takes. It's so backed up at pressing plants because there's so many people making vinyl and there's so few pressing plants. Like the pressing plant I use is in the Czech Republic. If that tells you, but they make great records, man. They make great fucking records. So
anyway, who do they email? What's the email address if they need?
info@volatilemerch.com and give them a little break, man. They're like people like kind of complain about stuff here and there, and they get all irritated because a couple people message like, "Oh, I emailed them and they didn't email me back," and then I call them about it, and they go, "Dude, we emailed this guy back 3 times already." Just be patient. They're a small independent company. They're working their ass off, shipping tons of stuff. Like people think everything is Amazon. You know what I mean? They're so used to that Amazon mentality of like, oh, they have 24-hour customer service. And I'm going to email them. They're email me back in 30 seconds. Like, it's just weird because everybody kind of has that mentality now because Amazon sort of set that bar. You know what I mean? But again, they're doing their best to get everything out. And yeah, if you didn't do split ship, unfortunately, the stuff all ships together when the vinyl is done. But yeah, if you want to, you can hit them up and they can probably just add split ship to your order if you don't want to wait 6 months till the vinyl's done to get your other stuff. So anyway, there's all my expertise. Is I on the set list?
Yes. I mean, we'll see, but yes.
Yes, of course it is. Yeah.
So is Poem.
Yeah, is Poem? Are you guys playing Poem? No way.
We'll squeeze it in there.
Are you sure? You play that first?
Only people who request it randomly throughout the set.
I'll be in the back screaming.
As if we're not going to.
I'll be in the back screaming Freebird the whole night.
You don't need to be. There'll be plenty of others.
Hey, now don't be talking shit about Motley Crue. Them's fighting words.
Yeah, hey Carl, what's going on, man?
You're building my guitar, so I guess you can talk shit about Motley Crue. How did Steven Scissors Richards talking to doing a full Taproot album? How much did the songs change? It didn't. Oh yay! It's Phil's kitty. I mean, you want to answer this one, Phil?
What's it say? Missed.
Asked how did Steve talking to doing a full tap? He didn't. He just made a record and said, "Hey, we're gonna put it as a Taproot record," basically.
Yeah, Steve has been recording this record pretty much since we went on hiatus.
In years.
In the few minutes he has every week to work on something, and so that's why it's taken about 10 years to get done. And then once
and it's going to take another 10 years to get mixed. It's going to come out in 2027.
You mean it's ready to go, Thom?
Yeah, I know. It totally is. It totally is. It's going to be out tomorrow.
But yeah, I mean the record was done. The songs were at least recorded, and it was just kind of a no-brainer to have Steve, because Steve was talking about doing it as his own thing called Scissors for a long time, and I was like, dude, don't do that. We've built too much for you to just try to, let this just go out there. And I mean, it's hard to restart, right? Even being Steve from Taproot, it's hard.
Yeah,
to do it on your own. So yeah, we decided to just do it as a Taproot record,
and it's such a Taproot record. I mean, it is a Taproot record in every sense of the word.
Like Jared, how much of a songwriter was Steve for the record stuff? Like, I mean, it's like he was the majority songwriter of almost everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, and you can tell when you hear this because I mean, Steve wrote it all himself, and it sounds like a Taproot record. Really good. How much of it have you heard, Jared? Have you heard the new record, honestly?
No, honestly, I think
I've single at least.
I think I've heard 5 songs probably. And the ones that, even because he's been sending me bits and pieces for years. And I'm like, I mean, I can remember probably 4 or 5 years ago when he first sent me the first, I can't remember which one it was. I said, it's like the next evolution of Deftones. It's like, I felt like it was really fresh sounding, really, really cool. Yeah. And he's just, I've often wondered this. There's a handful of songs on Besides that are demos that he played drums on. And I've always wondered if anyone really paid enough attention to, well, I don't know if that was known out there anyway, but I've always kind of wondered, because I can definitely hear the difference between his playing and my playing. I play most of them, but there's definitely a difference in feel. I've always kind of been curious if anyone had good enough
else
ears.
Noticed it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because to your point, I mean, I was just thinking, especially in the old days, like kind of pre-gift and even some of pre-welcome, he would record a bunch of stuff, every instrument on that 4-track player that he had in his bedroom. And then he would, bring us the cassette tape. I remember hearing Poem for the first time on one of, like the first day we got on one of the buses. He's like, oh, check this out. And we were all like, oh crap, that's really good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And people always go, dude, that bass line's so good. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's simple. Steve wrote it. It's awesome. But it's like, I mean, I can't really take a lot of credit for that chorus bass line. It's just such a, that little bounce it has. That was all Steve.
That's what people don't get, is it's like when they say, oh, Steve wrote the whole record, like Steve wrote most of the other records too. Steve is the driving force of Taproot. I think you guys have all individually said that, and that's great, man. You know what I mean? It's like every band needs that, Kurt Cobain was in Nirvana. Steve is in Taproot. It just is what every great band has, one guy who kind of just, does that shit, And so good for you. I'm glad you got one.
Yeah, right.
So I got to address this really quick. So somebody asked, I know there are usually issues with rights and licensing. What are the chances of vinyl re-release of the back catalog? Well, Welcome is coming out next week for Record Store Day. If you didn't catch that already,
2 days, 2 days from now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's coming out this week for Record Store Day, which is what day? Friday,
April
Saturday?
20th. April 20th, right?
Yeah, 4/20. Yep.
Right,
So
today's the 18th. What's today? Wednesday, Tuesday. So Thursday.
Let me see, what day is Record Store Day? Hang on,
Thursday.
I got to give them the proper information. But yeah, so it's coming out for Record Store Day. Saturday. It's Saturday.
Oh, is it Saturday? I
April
thought
20,
it was
that's
April 20th.
Yeah, Saturday, April 22nd. You can go to your local record store and get there early, though. Call them ahead of time because it's super limited edition. And each store only is going to have a few of them. But yes, go and grab yourselves one. It's coming out on Saturday for Record Store Day. It won't be available anywhere else, online, anywhere else. So get your ass out to a record store on Saturday and grab one.
Lost in the Woods. It's on our list. We'll see if it makes the cut when we actually play live, but we're learning it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm glad it was good.
Someone commented, yeah.
Any plans to record any of those shows for a live CD? It's a good idea. We talked about like live DVDs and shit. Like that'd be fun. Maybe. You never know. I'm just trying to catch up on these comments. There's so many.
Right.
Yeah, somebody mentioned the Syracuse show. I only remember I think the biggest crowd we were played in front of, Phil, that I remember was one of those Stain. I think Stain was the headliner, and we played outside. I don't know if that's the one he's referring to, but he said something about
Is that the one with Boy's car?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it was. Didn't the dude climb up the
scaffolding
and all that?
Crazy high jump, and I'm talking about. He's like, I could feel myself accelerating. Like, yeah, dude, he was high up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Good old Craig, dude. Love him.
Good thing he doesn't wear shoes, or they would have fallen off.
Right.
We have talked about doing live streams, and we'll probably end up live streaming at least one of the record release shows. Probably the first night of the Machine Shop. I don't know, maybe the first night, the second night, but yeah, we will do some kind of live stream of probably the record release shows for people who can't make it out.
We'll do like they do comedy shows. We'll record both of them and just kind of like mix them up together of the best parts of the two.
Right.
Something like that.
I mean, what's full time? I mean, we are doing it pretty damn full time,
Yeah. Well, to answer this question seriously, Jared and I would say Jared and I, as if we're the only ones that have jobs. We all have jobs, but me and Jared have jobs that we can't quit. So
yeah,
it would take the band blowing up quite a bit for us to think about doing more than what we're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, considering what we were originally going to do and what we're doing now, it's come a long way in a couple months. I mean, literally, originally we were going to do 1 or 2 fucking shows, and then it turned into 8 to 12 to 14, whatever. I can't even keep count anymore. Sorry, John. I don't know what your question was, buddy. Are you guys going to go back to the all white out? Yes. Everybody, band and crew, will be wearing all white outfits for these shows. It's funny? When Chimera started, Chimera's first shows, nobody probably knows this or remembers this unless you're from fucking Cleveland. Their first shows, they wore all white fucking jumpsuits and masks.
What year was that?
I don't fucking remember. A long time ago. God, dude, I really don't even know. What year did I start managing? Probably 99. I think Pass Out of Existence came out in 2000 or 2001. So it had to have been the late 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you did it first. I'm pretty sure you did it. But yeah, I remember they wore these all white, like fucking polyester jackets and fucking pants. And it was very, very nice. It was very 2000s. And yes, that's probably what we're going to do is do some kind of a paid live stream. We're still just trying to figure it out. But we'll definitely do something for the people who can't make it out to the shows. God, there's so many comments. Hi, Chris. What new music are you guys into right now? That's a good question.
I pretty much listen to only 2 things. I listen to Nothing More, and I listen to this girl, Haley Knox, out of New York. And that's it.
Jared?
Yeah, I've been kind of trying to go. I mean, usually if there's a band that's been around for a while that has new stuff out, I usually check it out. Like I was just kind of going through my playlist here. Project 86 has a new song that's on my playlist. That's really cool.
Nice. I just jammed that one. Remember that first song on that? Was, dude.
So good.
Play on Play or whatever it is. That's so good, dude.
Yep. And then let's see. Muse has a newer album out that's pretty good. I've got been trying to get into a couple of the new Paramore songs. That's taken a little bit longer than I expected. I listened to old Sick of It All stuff. Let's see what else.
Checked out the new Riding with Killers.
Yeah, it's really good
stuff there. Yeah.
Nothing But Thieves. Love their new. They got a new song out. Yep. Animals as Leaders. Barb. I finally got into them a little bit. She's been talking about them for years.
Man, they're ridiculous.
Fantastic.
Yeah. My brain can't comprehend everything they do.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. For the last 3 years,
Metallica songs are cool.
What was that?
A couple new Metallica songs are cool.
Yeah, what do you think of the new Metallica? I haven't really listened to it yet.
Yeah, I probably listened to like 5 songs like a couple times, and it's good. I mean, it's like my friend Ed Hewitt. I doubt he's on here, but I know Phil knows Ed. But he said one of his friends said that people always try to compare. How their stuff compares to everything else they've ever done.
Yes.
And he said,
how does it compare to this?
People seem to think of it as like a new rock record, and so I'm trying to listen to it that way, and I really like it. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to compare everything to Master of Puppets. You're never going to compare. Nothing is ever going to compare to And Justice for All or Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning. It's just not going to fucking happen. It was 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
It's cool. I'm happy they're still releasing music, and it's good.
No, honestly, I listened to pretty much nothing. I went through 3 years where I listened to nothing but Post Malone. That was it. Like literally 3 years was all I listened to. And I new band. I've been listening to Heartsick a lot now. We're opening for you guys.
Oh yeah.
And I've been listening to the new Taproot record nonstop for the last 3 months since I got it. I mean, I think that's kind of it. Taproot, Post Malone, and Heartsick, I guess. Did I listen to anything else? Honestly don't listen to anything that came out in the last like 30 years. Like I listened to Primus today. I don't know why. I want to listen to Primus. I mean, I still listen to like Suicidal Tendencies, and everything I listen to is fucking old, man. I don't really listen to anything new. The new shit I listen to is like rap or Taproot, Raproot. All right, let's see what else we got.
I listen to stuff I try to play drums on, right? So like that diversifies my my musical tastes. I got what's that song? Black Velvet. You know, talking about Atlanta Miles.
Yeah,
like that old song. Yeah,
dude. Got that. Yeah, dude. So good, dude. So good.
You know what? That's a good. You know what? That's a good beat because that's not a typical. That's kind of like a swingy.
Yeah. And then what cool I just learned right before we got on this was the very beginning basic beat of what's it called? Blood Sugar Sex Magic, I think, the title track.
Okay, yeah.
It's got a little cool hi-hat, snare, drum, or kick drum thing.
Oh yeah.
That? Yeah, dude, it's cool. It's fun to play, man.
What are you?
Yeah. That. Yeah. Wow.
Blood Sugar Baby. She's magic.
You're really pushing yourself.
Such a great fucking record, man.
It is one of my favorites, man. One of my favorites. What are Phil and Jared's pick for the most underrated album they were a part of? I personally don't think Blue Sky Research was ever given the credit it deserves.
I concur with that sentiment. Steve hates it for whatever reason.
I know, it's so
brilliant.
Yeah,
it is, right?
That Blue Sky Research is my favorite Taproot album. So if it's underrated, I will say that is.
Yeah, I can go with that. I wrestle between that and Welcome. I think Blue Sky is a warmer sounding, better written record, but Welcome had so much energy and excitement and newness around it in evolution that I think I'd probably have to call it my favorite, but I think Blue Sky is probably technically a better record.
You know, I think your most underrated record is probably Plead the Fifth. Honestly, that record is so heavy and it's so good. And it's funny because the new record falls. It's kind of like in this weird gray area between like Gift, Welcome, and Plead the Fifth. It's like super fucking heavy, like the heaviest Taproot record by far ever. And people are gonna kind of lose their shit, I think, when they hear some of it. It's so, even Jared elaborated a little bit, alluded to it earlier. It's heavy, man. It's fucking heavy. I mean, it's such a heavy record. But then there's, just that classic Steve. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. Anyway,
I think our Dark Horse album that's kind of making a weird, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it comeback.
Our Long Road Home.
Yeah, exactly.
Every fucking post on social media, every post, no matter what it is, somebody has to post, when will Our Long Road Home be on Spotify? Like everything. I don't care what it is.
And we're trying, to be clear.
Yes,
we are trying.
We're
contacted Velvet Hammer. We're trying to get,
we're
all
trying.
that sorted
Cross
back
your
out.
fingers.
Yeah. People dig that one. And that was Jared's, I don't know if all the people know this, but that was Jared's last record he recorded on with us. And then we almost played a show with that record. Remember Almost in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then it got canceled for a hurricane or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah. We almost got to play that one last show with you. Well,
you know what? I listened to that. I don't know. I probably listened to half of that record. I think probably listening to Besides or whatever. And I mean, I really like a lot of songs in that, but it's kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird. Like Natural. I love that song, or I think it's Natural, but it's weird.
It is. Well, I equated to what is that Smashing Pumpkins record? Like Adore or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
It was like kind of like the one that no one liked when it first came out, but then years later it's like, oh, it's so good. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's Our Long Road Home. We're just kind of like, it was such a weird turn from the last album. And even the album after that, it just kind of sits in this weird spot. But when you go back and listen to it, it's got some good stuff in there.
It does. Yeah.
I never really heard it, to be honest, until going through the stuff for Beside. Again, I think I even texted you. I was like, God, this shit's really fucking. I mean, again, it's like you're saying, people trying to compare the new Metallica record to Master of Puppets. Like, artists evolve, and like that's kind of Steve's evolution record. You can tell, you can hear it. Like he was kind of getting more in touch with other things and do it. And it's I mean, it's great. Yeah, it's not Poem. It's not a stereotypical Taproot record, which is why I think people probably shit on it when it came out, but they go back now and it's just fucking, you realize some of the true brilliance of Steve as a songwriter on that record, I mean,
Karma Way is still one of my favorite songs. That's such a good one on that. And Be the One is a really good one on there.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, Richard. Richard and I have a funny joke. He's the singer for Bias Breaking in a Sequence. Fantastic singer. I think we are talking. We're hoping to do some Cali stuff. Probably not till next year. We'll be thinking about
we're
that.
working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah. I wanted to. So Luke LaPlante, everyone has a list, and our long road home is certainly on my list near the bottom. Funny.
Yeah, Richard, hit me up if we do the West Coast. We'll see if we can get you guys on the show.
Yeah, great band. Richard's a fantastic singer. That's you don't know that. So yeah, David from Korn was the drummer of that band, and now BC Vaught is the drummer from.
Those guys. Yeah.
I love BC, man. He's fucking awesome.
So Richard. I was telling Richard about because we were talking about Pantera and our favorite Pantera moments. I was telling him when we're doing Ozfest with them and how Phil would yell out into the crowd, I want to see 15 mosh pits out there. This song's called Walk. And so so Richard and I were just dying laughing talking about that at a bar.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Dude, it's Richard Easterling who mastered Best of Besides for us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Richard's awesome. Did you? God, Jared, I didn't think I sent it. I'll send you the mastered versions of them.
Oh, thank you.
I totally spaced it out. I would have already. Dude, it sounds so good. It sounds so different. I mean, it really it takes some of those to a whole nother level,
Yeah, it is.
Even like the unlistenable demos are kind of listenable now.
Well, thanks. That's good to hear.
Let's see. The thousands of comments. Can't wait for Wally's.
Yeah, we love Wally's, man. I don't know if Wally's was around when you were doing shows with us. I don't think so, Jared. It's in New Hampshire, Hampton Beach, but I think you always did like the Hampton Beach Ballroom.
I've heard good things about that place. Yeah.
But Wally's is a cool club, man, and we played there a bunch of times towards right before our hiatus, and so we have consider them like family there. It's a good place.
No, that's cool.
I don't think I've ever been to New Hampshire, so it's going to be a new experience.
Yeah.
We already talked about the new Metallica. We all kind of dig it. I think these are probably comments from when we were talking about it.
Probably.
I'm still behind. Yeah, look at this. Plead the fifth. I apologize. We're just so caught up in the conversation. We're not trying to ignore you guys.
Yeah, somebody even commented earlier. I don't think they're paying attention to the chat or something like that.
We're trying. It's just we're just engaged in conversation. I mean, when was the last time you guys talked? It's probably been a while.
Oh yeah, To Whom It May. Those are good guys, man. Great band. To Whom It May. I talked to. Actually, I know all three of those guys.
Yeah, Phil and I talked about a month ago about him playing drums. That was it.
That's right. He called you for drumming tips.
That's all we talked about.
No, see, a lot of the stuff we're already talking about. Honest opinions on our long road home. We just talked. See, we're not even looking at the comments, but we're still answering your questions because we're psychic.
So Oscar, this is a good. I asked how much did Billy Corgan actually do on Blue Sky Research? So he co-wrote. I think he's got co-writing credit on 3 songs: "Violent Seas," "Lost in the Woods," and
"Promise."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on the song, like "Violent Seas," we had basically a riff and a drum beat, barely anything. If you listen to B-sides or best, I don't think it's on Best of B-sides, but if you get the B-sides when it comes out, if you don't have it already, you'll hear the original version of "Violent Seas," and it's just a very basic, I don't think no lyrics or anything, riff, and then Billy Corgan kind of talked to us about that and told Jared to do drum beat kind of like on what do you say one of the it's like a Smashing Pumpkins song.
Yeah, there's Bullet with Butterfly.
Yeah, that's what it was, right? He said do a beat like that, and then Jared does that, and it turns into that whole thing. Just gave it this extra life, and then it turned into all this other stuff. And then I don't think it was that song. I think it was the other song on "Promise." I remember him playing guitar. Actually playing guitar and jamming with us, and kind of getting that rhythm for what we did in that bridge.
Because "Promise" was more of a 6/8 thing. It was the thought of you amazes me, and then he told me to play a shuffle beat. So I thought I don't think I knew what a shuffle beat was, but my impersonation of it was the and then he started doing the
right.
Then kind of turned into a 4/4 instead of a 6/8, and then it kind of went from there. But yeah, I remember his fingers were just enormous,
dude,
on the guitar.
Big guy, man, big guy.
Yeah.
And then "Lost in the Woods," obviously he wrote that original part, and then told us, gave us that as homework, and said, "Hey, go do something with this and make it yours." Which is one of the hardest homework assignments I think we've ever had.
Yeah,
Billy Corgan gave you homework.
Yeah, the last day he came out. I just fooling around this morning, and he played it, and it was just like we almost didn't do anything with it because we couldn't quite figure out what to do with it. We did the basic, just kind of, just guitar and vocals, and then drums and bass come in, and then it, does everything together for the second verse, and it just very like, pedestrian or stock or whatever you want to call it. But then I think it was when was it you, Jared, that tried to what was like the poem kind of feel for the chorus?
Yeah, I mean, because if I remember that we were just going to kind of give up on it because we didn't think that we were doing it any justice, and then before we were going to scrap it, and I said, well, let's just see if we can rock it out. I'll play something like the poem beat, and let's just see what happens if we play it really big and loud, and then that's kind of the direction it went.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a key moment in that song. Without that, we probably would have been scrapped. Oh yeah.
More love for Taylor.
Yeah, of course, man. Let's see, him and Linton. Oh yeah, when he was with Catharsis. I don't know if that was considered his original band. I think it was, but yeah, Catharsis. That's why I fell in love with them when I first saw him with those guys.
Sorry, these comments all keep covering up your face, Jared. The big ones. They're just like, oh look, Jared's gone. I don't know how there's subtitles. AI technology, it's a spectacular thing.
Oh wow, there's subtitles for what we're saying?
Yeah, they have subtitles on some of them.
Wow.
Obviously, we're searching for Taproot. Do you think this open up some avenues for bands of your era, say on Loco for reference? Joey Duenas, is that you in disguise? Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's a huge, it's funny. One of my kids is 15 and loves nu metal. They're also into Motley Crue and into 80s shit and into like metalcore. Like kids are getting this really wide swath of music from the last 30 years, man. I totally think that there's I mean, look, I think there's a bunch of bands that came before us doing this. And again, if, some other bands get inspired by seeing Taproot come back and get some love. I mean, hopefully, some other bands do. I love Loco, man. I love Joey. I love those guys. I love a lot of the bands from this era. They're all my friends. Switch should get the fuck back together and play some shows with Sean May on bass.
There you go.
Right? Tell me you wouldn't want to see that.
Oh, dude, Sean and Chad back together, dude. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude, they were so great back then. Fuck, they were so. That's one band. All right, here's my question. Other bands from that era, nu metal bands, for lack of a better, who do you think were the ones that should have been bigger but weren't? I would say Switched is at the top of, and you guys can comment too. Hopefully, we'll see it because we're so behind on comments. I would say Switched is at the top of that fucking list
for sure. There, I mean, well, these bands that just had phenomenal players and songwriters, and I would say Pulse Ultra is up there for me.
Yeah.
We did our best to bring them into the mix. Yeah, that's how I got to dig into my memory.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's all I can think of right now is Switch, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of bands that were on either Ozfest or that we toured with. Yeah. But I mean, I like Pitch Shifter at the time, and I like
great.
Project 86, who we took out. I was kind of surprised they didn't get any bigger. I mean, so many bands that we toured with that opened for us got freaking huge. So
yeah, right.
There's not too many.
Yeah.
Factory 81. Someone was bringing up Factory 81 earlier. I mean, I think they had a special place in a lot of our hearts.
Yeah, I concur. I concur with Pulse.
Oh, Depswa, yeah.
Oh yeah, Depswa is great too. Another band I managed and got signed. So all the good ones.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Scrape. I remember liking that Scrape record. 40 Below Summer. That's good.
Yeah. But I two out of 5 on that list. I worked with Switched and Depswa, so not bad.
Oh yeah, Darwin's Waiting Room.
Oh yeah, you remember those guys?
Yep.
Yeah, Seven Dust is great. I mean, Seven Dust is still doing fucking great though. I mean, they're Element 80. Wow.
I don't know them.
Pulling out all the obscure ones. Super Butt. I don't remember them, but what a name.
Oh, what about Ultra Spank?
The Union
Oh, yeah,
Ultra Spank were amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't considered. I don't think they're considered new metal. But I always thought Far should have done better.
Everything was called new metal then. I mean, anything. If you were a rock band and you weren't tuned to E, you were new metal pretty much. Even if you were tuned to E, I mean, they called Puddle of Mud new metal for fuck's sake.
Well, I mean, but kind of before new metal would be like Far. You know, were they considered new metal?
They were kind of emo
right?
new metal. I don't know what they were, man.
Yeah, so don't interrupt me next time, Tom. I'm making a point.
Oh. Don't ask me a question then, Phil.
I was making my point about it not being new metal, and you jumped into everything was new metal. And then I bring up Far. Bam. Mic drop. Mic drop.
Far, another really fucking band that should have been way bigger than they were. The Downer. Do you remember Downer? Did you ever hear that band? They were on Roadrunner. They were fucking kind of like that too. They were fucking awesome.
Couple people mentioned No One, From Zero, One Side Zero.
Straight Line.
Oh yeah, all these names. Yeah.
So Carl, I didn't really know Carnival, but I'm sure a few of you guys know who Rick Beato is. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's like a music guru. He did like I think it was a top 40 songs that are great mixes that a lot of sound guys will tune their PA to. And he had a Carnival song on there, and I put it on my playlist, and it was really good. They weren't really on the radar.
Yeah, those guys were fucking great. Great. Really weird.
Sean
May made a bass for them.
Really?
Yeah. At least one. I don't know if he did more.
Glassjaw. I just went back and listened to a couple Glassjaw songs, and man, that was very aggressive.
So that was, I don't know if it was the first Glassjaw record, whatever that was. We used to listen to that as our pre-show warm-up. Like the first 3 or 4 songs.
Yep.
And we would just get the bus rocking, dude. It would always get bumped up.
We're gonna do that again on this tour. We're gonna do that again. Dude, I love that fucking. That's such a. The first 2 Glassjaw records are like 2 of my favorite records ever.
I can't think what are those songs called? I'm trying to remember. Like on the, I can hear it.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Resurrection.
Yeah, exactly.
I can listen to that record front to back. I don't know the names of one song on it, honestly.
Yeah.
But they're so fucking Glassjaw. I gave them their first tour opening for Earth Crisis when I managed them.
No way.
A heart shaped like a bullet or something like that. What's that line?
Yeah.
Like a bullet. It's a little cutout thing at the end.
Kiss shaped like
there it is.
Bullet.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. That's the first record. That's everything you always want to know about Silence. Fuck, that's such a great record.
Yeah.
Pretty Lush and Siberian Kiss. Thank you. That's what the songs are called.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Siberian Kiss. Yep. Thank you. 36 Crazy Fists were fucking and Moo Empire. Yeah, that's so funny though. I've listened to that record 1,000 times, and I just put it on and listen to it. I don't sit like I literally don't know the name. Now that they're saying it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But I literally could not think of one song title on that record. But I know every word to every song on it.
The Refused was a band that we all loved. Do you remember them, Tom? Shape of Punk to Come, dude. Oh, such a that album, The Shape of Punk to Come, is still one of those ones that's just like sounds so good. There's so many cool little things that happen in that album.
36 Crazy Fists, another band that's fucking great. All right, now you guys are getting into the other records now.
Zool and Kyle, hey guys. I know these guys.
High Empire, 40, another Brad Kochman joint. 40 Below Summer. All right. Yep. There we go. Before we knew that Taylor was the guy, I was bugging these guys to have Brad play guitar.
All right.
I was like, let's get BC. Although I'm stoked we got Taylor, but goddamn, I would love to see BC play with you guys one time. He's so great.
Yeah. He is.
Who's he with?
He was a guitar player in Switched, and then he was in High Empire and
Non-Point.
Then he was in Non-Point for a while.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Filled in for Seven Dust for a little bit. Like, he's fucking awesome. Brad's a good dude. Anyway, all right, enough new metal bands. Jesus, we're up on like a full-on tangent now. It's fun though, but holy shit. So how's everybody else? You got any other questions? Now we're paying attention to the comments. So if you got them, ask them. Let's do a little Q&A to wrap this fucking bad boy up here. We've been doing this for an hour already.
All right.
All right, questions. No more questions about underrated new metal bands. Now nobody's going to ask any questions at all.
Speaking of that, I love how I assume one of you two shared the Metal Hammer.
That's Thom. Thom is great with the social media, so I all him now.
It's so great. I mean, and I just love, I mean, that writer was obviously, it seemed very clickbaity to me, but like, some of the things that he wrote were really funny, not only about us, but about other bands. But it's just funny how that seems to, and I love all the, all the shit talking that all of our friends and fans do and our comments about how whack they are. And they have their own insults, and it's all pretty fun.
It is. You just can't take yourself seriously. Nobody in the band does. Everybody has such a great sense of humor about everything. And fuck it, you got it. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, people are going to talk shit, no matter what you do. We've been kind of shocked at the minimal hate from anybody, we really don't talk about it all the time. Like, there really isn't any, man. It's kind of shocking.
I mean, like, as Thom and I talked about, it's like even from our fans that like love, say, our first two records, and then the third record comes out, and they go, just kind of shit on us a little bit, right? It's like they've all kind of gotten to the point where they can appreciate everything we do now. Like, it's not like this whole, oh, what's with this new song? Why doesn't it sound like this? But then, as Thom said, it kind of sounds like what they want. So maybe we're just appeasing them. I don't know.
Exactly. Jackie, if you want to email me, I can switch your VIP. That's fine. Just message me on Facebook or something. I don't want to give up my email address, or you can just email the one that's on the Taproot page, the THC Music and Films at Gmail. But yeah, send me an email and I can figure it out and switch it for you. It's no big deal. Jared, how's working with Clayton on I Believe You? I have no idea what that means, so you're going to have to answer.
Cell Dweller.
Yeah, Cell Dweller, yeah.
I love Clayton.
Yeah, I was a big fan, so I happened to really like that song, and he had a demo of it, and it wasn't really a standout to him, so then I guess he was putting the record together, and he said, hey, you said you like that one song, you want to play on it? I said, yeah, sure. So it was great. He really kind of gave me a lot of freedom. He played, he had like a scratch kind of digital drum thing on it. He said, oh, so what are you thinking? And, I just kind of told him what I was thinking, tight, basically tight on the verses and open on the choruses and do a cut time thing. And then just kind of ran through it 2 or 3 takes. And it was really fun. It was quick and easy. And I still probably once a year, I find myself going back and listening to that song. It was really fun. Oh, yeah. He's like a creative, he's like a Trent Reznor. He's like a creative genius, really smart.
He really fucking is, man. I love him, actually.
Yeah.
No, they have not announced what day we're playing Blue Ridge.
I know. I wish we knew. We knew. Trying to book our hotels, our travel plans.
Yeah, we can't do anything. We have no idea. We have to wait. Biggest bass and drum influences. Phil, who are your biggest drum influences since you're the drum?
Whoever played drums on the Atlanta Mile song. And whoever played drums on Black Crow's Hard to Handle. And then
Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Whoever played drums on Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Oh, and that song Smooth by Rob Thomas and who's that other guy that plays on that? Santana? That's a fun one to play. That's got a cool little kick drum thing. Yeah, so what about you, Jared? What are your bass influences?
Whoever plays bass for Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
I wish that guy would get more credit as a bass player.
Yeah.
Talk about underrated.
Yes. Speaking of the Flea, I mean, I was listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers since I don't know when. I don't know if it's hard to call these guys influences because I don't play like them, right? These are just people that got me interested in bass, I guess would be the better way to say it for me. But yeah, Flea is one of them. Stuart Zender from Jamiroquai was one of them. Again, I don't play like these guys. These guys are phenomenal. And then, obviously Cliff Burton and Jason Newsted from Metallica and Rage Against the Machine. Obviously learned a lot of stuff from them. Tim Comerford. But yeah, those would be probably my main ones. You know, I listen to a lot of people, but those are the ones I learned the most songs from and just kind of dug in a bit.
Yeah, drums, I got to give credit to Lars because, you know, I knew in listening to the first 30 seconds of Blackened that I wanted to play drums. But then, you know, if you become a Metallica fan, see him 20 times and you realize that Lars isn't the most accurate drummer live. So, then I ventured in. I always talk about Tim Alexander from Primus. He's one of my favorites. And, you know, of course, John Bonham, Neil Peart, you know, a lot of other guys.
Isn't the first 30 seconds of Blackened just like weird guitar noise?
Well, you're probably right. I'll talk about the first 30 seconds of where there's drums.
Okay. I was going to say, the first 30-second instrumental guitar intro of Blackened is what made me know I want to
play drums. Needs drums. This song needs drums.
I'm going to do it. So I have to say this is so funny. You asked about Fear Factory before, and I was going to say this, and I totally spaced up. So I went and hung out with them. We made skateboards for them, right? So I went and hung out with them a couple weeks ago. They played here with Static X. And me and the new singer started talking, and I mentioned Taproot, and his eyes lit up. And Taproot's like his favorite fucking band. We talked about it for like an hour. He was going off about how he got into Taproot when he was a kid, and his dad wasn't really into metal, so he played him Taproot because he thought, you know,
when he was in third grade.
Yeah, exactly. He was in third grade. But yeah, he was going like Taproot's like his favorite fucking. And I told him I was going to do a text intro with him and Steve, and I fucking totally forgot. I need to do that, but. Yeah, he was going up, but Steve was like his biggest influence, and we are talking about how Steve should do a guest on the new Fear Factory record, and it was like the most surreal. I sat there and played him some of the songs off the record. I played him VIP and favorite song, and a couple of the heavier tracks, and it was funny. Like we literally sat there and talked about Taproot for a fucking. And actually, you were commenting on my pictures at the show. That's right, and I told you they were playing 2 days later, and they really wanted Steve to go to the fucking show, but he had to work, so he couldn't go. So I was trying to, but yeah, no, the new singer from Fear Factory is a huge Taproot fan.
Well, in a strange twist of events, I remember the first few times I hung out with Steve, I think I never saw him without a Fear Factory shirt on. I think he was always wearing a Fear Factory shirt, and Mike was always wearing a Korn shirt. And that was in 95.
That's so funny. Dude, but the first band I was in when I was 15, we covered Martyr off the first Fear Factory record. And
that's cool.
And I met them a couple of years later. And Dino helped me get Chimera signed. Like Dino has been so instrumental in weird things in my life, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
All right, more questions. Is Face Pillar on the upcoming set list? You'll find out at the show. This guy's asked this question 3 times, so I want you to answer it. And probably yes, every band does this, but you guys answer it.
So, real before that, if you're going to ask a question about a song that's going to be on the set list, if that gets you to the show, the answer is yes. That song is going to be on the playlist. And if we don't play it that day, it's going
to be on the set list.
And if we don't play it, it's because we just didn't have time.
Yeah. April 2, every song you guys want are going to be on the set list.
Let's see. Is it true the Deftones would turn down your and Incubus volume on tour to sound louder? I don't know if it's this kind of standard practice. I would say
it is. They always say.
I mean, it wasn't like Deftones or it's like that's standard practice. You don't give full access to the PA to your opening band and then the band. You know, I mean, it just is what it is, right? You want the main band to sound as loud as possible, right? And then you gotta have that relative difference there. So yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. It's just part of the paying the dues. You know what I mean?
I think every song in the world ended up on Beside, so I don't think there's anything else left. I mean, I know after the fact, Phil was like,
I found a couple
more stuff. We have more stuff that we're going to add.
Even more besides.
I'll tell you a couple. So there's a couple that I struggled with. There's a version of Birthday where Steve sang a chorus that Nick Hexum helped write that we purposely decided not to put on there because he might be pissed. And then there is a song that Stephen Carpenter played on with us, which we never did anything with, that we purposely decided not to put on there either, just because that might have been controversial. So,
right. We don't necessarily have the rights to that stuff.
That's right.
So that's why we just left it alone. But they're cool.
Yeah.
It would be neat.
So it'll be something people can pine for forever. But I do know both of those dudes. I could probably hit them up and be like, yo, can we put this out?
Do you care?
They'd probably say, I don't give a fuck, you know? Anyway, they probably forgot they even did it. Like, tap who? Tap.
Well, what's funny is Nick Hexum ended up wanting that whatever melody he wrote, and
didn't.
And we had to sign the thing saying, yeah, go ahead. And we're like, yeah, of course. Like it was a no-brainer for us.
Oh,
You always bring me down. Why bring me down?
Right. Right.
Nick Hexum melody, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I can play a 6-string guitar. I can't play a 6-string bass very well. That extra string throws it off. Like
let him be good at 4. Oh, Bradley's talking shit. Let him be good at 4 first.
I can't play a 4 either. It's only 5s. It's only 5 strings.
Blow Your Brains Out with Ricky Warden. And that sounds metal.
Is this
I think this is a statement. I don't think this is
an advertisement.
I think he's just plugging his shit. So okay. God bless. Well, Blow Your Brains Out with Ricky Warden and Dave Jarvis. Kelsey Kells, lots of metal horns. Who plays the guitar better, Phil or his brother?
Definitely my brother. Definitely my brother. He's been playing longer than me. He actually got me. He had the reason why I even played bass is because he had pawned off his bass, and I was visiting him in Texas, and he was literally moving back to Michigan, and after we packed up the truck, my friend's Sabas's F-150, just single cab. We had packed it all up. It's all full. He goes, hey, I pawned off this bass. You can buy it for $120 from the pawn shop. You can buy it back. I've still got the pink slip. So I was like, sure, why not? So I bought it, and there's nowhere to put it. So it's sitting in between my legs. So there's 3 of us in the cab, and I'm in the middle with a bass between my legs for the entire trip from Texas all the way to Michigan.
No way.
You're describing the upcoming tour. Yeah, right. The bass between his legs.
We drove straight through. Yeah. Oh, that's Mike. Oh, I didn't even realize that was Mike. That's funny. That's old high school buddy. Mike and I went to high school together in England.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. People are really obsessed with this idea.
Does he know Elvis?
Oh yeah, him and Elvis were best buds. We all skated.
No way.
Yeah. Good stories from Elvis when he lived with us, huh? Everyone has such great memories of Elvis. It was a dark time for Elvis. He's gotten out of that.
Yeah.
I don't know who Elvis is, but he sounds great.
Racked up my phone bill a couple times. Thank you, Elvis. No, we've since squashed all that, I think.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he forgave me.
He forgave you for being mad at him.
You're welcome, Rick. Anytime we can plug your podcast. Oh, they want Taproot on the Blow Your Brains Out. That's why they're plugging it. So, hey, I'm sure Philly will come on and blow his brains out.
Right.
We're all, what the? I don't even know what that means.
I'm about ready to wrap it up here, gentlemen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So are we? We're at the end of the questions anyway. Favorite song with the U will drop in probably July, I think. And yeah, I think that's pretty much
we went
it.
with the English spelling of favorite.
Yes, that's Steve's brilliant call. Phil, have you ever played bass with Ryan Martini?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've actually been one of our first tours when we do with a tour with them. I remember seeing him for the first time. He played my Yamaha, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing to that thing?" Like he's just doing all this craziness to my bass. I'm like, dude, that's not how you play bass, man. I don't know what you're doing over there. But no, Ryan's great, man. Me and him are friends. I'm hoping to see him on one of these days when we're out and about and they're out and about. It'd be great to see him again. We just however many years in between, man, we always just when we see each other, it's like we haven't missed a beat, man. Great dude.
My baby girl. Well, good. Well, we're gonna do this again. Yeah, the video. Somebody asked, the stream will be available to watch it again and again and again and again. You can download it and burn it onto a DVD for your home viewing pleasure. But yeah, I think me and Phil are going to do this again next Tuesday with other people. I think we're going to make this a regular thing. So,
and feel free to drop in whenever, Jared.
Okay.
Yeah. You have the door is always open for you.
We're not uninviting you to the next one. We're just saying.
Yeah, we're not. That's it, Jared. You're done. That's it. One and done.
That's all good. I appreciate it. This is fun.
I heard you're going to the Metallica show in Detroit, though.
I believe I am going.
Yeah, I'm going to the other day. I think I'm actually going to the show in Detroit, but and it worked out really good because we didn't have shows that weekend because you took off to go to Metallica, and then I got invited to go to Detroit for Metallica. I asked Phil, I'm like, "Do we have shows that weekend?" He's like, "No, because Jared's going to Metallica." I'm like, "Fuck yes, thank you, Jared."
Well, now that people know you guys are going to be there, it's going to be packed.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it will be. They'll be like, holy shit! Did you hear Jared from Taproot's going to be here?
Yeah, right.
Buy tickets.
It's crazy. I wasn't going to be able to justify the purchase of the tickets myself, and then one of my best friends bought tickets for us, and he's like, "You're going," and I was like, "Oh shoot, okay, yeah, I'm going."
Well, it's the same thing for me. One of my buddies just called me up and said, "Hey, I got extra. I don't know if I think he won him in like some charity auction thing." For Five Finger Death Punch, he's like, I got like 4 tickets. So if you want to go, I'm like, all right. So, hey, same deal. I'm like, I wouldn't have paid to see it, but I'm pretty fucking. So thanks, Dave. So anyway,
Cool. Jackie's going to Metallica in Detroit too. All right.
All right.
Fucking A.
She is now.
Yeah, you heard Jared was going to be there. All right, kids. Well, have a good night, Jared. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah, man.
Thanks everyone for joining. This was fun.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Later.
Good night.